Hello, Internet! I'm Elliot the Purple Hair Doofus, and welcome to Buddy Reads, where I read a small selection of a book and review it for you. Today we are continuing our journey through Wolves of Calla by Stephen King. Today we are covering chapters 3, 4, and 5 of the story Todash. I hope you've read that yourself, because I do not want to ruin anything for you. So our section has the story shifting to the gunslinger, and he is back in Midworld. He is watching over the other pilgrims, and he notices Susannah stirring. Susannah starts getting up, and she starts moving through the meadow, swampland, forest, whatever it is that they are sleeping in at the time. Roland looks over at Jake and Eddie to make sure that they are okay, and he notices them kind of going in and out of phase with the world, meaning like they kind of blink in and out of existence, I guess? And he instantly recognizes it as something called Todash. But he doesn't really have time for that as he is following Susannah. Susannah is being controlled by another alter, another personality inside of her named Mia. And if you thought Detta was bad, oh boy. Apparently Susannah has something brewing inside of her stomach. And it has alluded to this in the series earlier that Susannah might be pregnant with Eddie's baby. Now she is starting to have pregnancy cravings. But she is having pregnancy cravings of live animals. And Roland watches her go through the meadow to a swamp and start squishing live frogs and eating the guts of live frogs and bugs and just swallowing them all down. And it's gross and it's awesome because this is what Stephen King is great at. Roland starts running through the conversation in his head that he's going to have with Eddie about this. Of course he says, well, Eddie's obviously going to think that this is his own baby. He also has to remind Eddie that Susannah was raped by a demon while they were trying to get... hello? While they're trying to get Jake back into their world. Hold on a second. So he makes the illusion that maybe the baby inside of Susannah / Mia / Detta / Odetta is demon spawn. Especially since she is going to a swamp and eating live animals. Because who doesn't want to do that? He watches her go back to the sleeping area. They wake up the next day, and she has no memory of doing this. She has no thoughts about doing this. Eddie and Jake are like, we have to tell you the most amazing story about our dream last night and going to New York. Roland is like, that's great, but we should wake up Susannah. I have something to tell you all. And so they wake up Susannah. She has obviously no memory of what happened last night, and they sit down to talk about the Todash. And the Todash is basically what happened to Jake and Eddie, where they had been transported to 1977 New York and seen all of the stuff in the bookstore with the mobster and everything. The Pilgrims sit down and they start talking at length about this whole buying the lot situation. And it takes them a bit to realize that the lot that they're talking about is the lot with the rose that Jake had seen in book 3 that we are all supposed to take care of right now. They also start looking at the letters in the name and start adding them up to 19 because everything is linked to the number 19. And I start to think that Stephen King is trying to do here what Douglas Adams did with 14. I'm not quite sure it's going to work for me. They also make an allusion to the fact that the lot number is 19 and the lot numbers add up to 19 and it's actually called like lot 19 or something like that. And it's just kind of like, okay, I get it. They start talking about how the mobster wanted to buy the lot from the bookstore owner named Calvin Tower. And they start talking about the author on the book. And they look at the book and they realize that the author's name is gone from Charlie the Choo Choo. You know, it's kind of like they are making stretches of the imagination to make this fit so perfectly, and it's okay, I guess, but they're kind of going to like lengths to make this fit as well as it does. And they really don't have to. But then they start doing something brilliant, which is they start devising a heist. Eddie and Jake and Susannah start talking about how they need to find doors that go to certain time periods, and they are like, this is going to be amazing. This is going to be fantastic. We are going to go back to the time right after Susannah got out, and we're going to collect all of her money, and then we're going to use that money and go back to the time right before Jake got out, and we are going to buy that lot so that we can keep it safe. And Roland's like, yeah, that's a great doesn't work like that. As he's describing the fact that, you can't just find a door. A man comes up. And what I forgot to mention in the last video was our pilgrims are being followed by villagers. And I'm pretty sure these are the same villagers from the first book who are looking for our pilgrims to save them from the wolves. And the man that comes up is Callahan from the town meeting. And Callahan says, I think I have something that might help with that. And he tells them that he has one of the glass balls from book 4, and in the whole rainbow scheme, he has the black one. And that might help them get to where they need to go, but in order to get it, they need to help Callahan and his town from the wolves. And where I originally thought that this book was going to be set in New York, I'm now thinking that this book is going to be set in Midworld, setting up everything to go to New York to get that heist. Which means that the next book might even be a con job. And that is awesome! I would love for the next entire book to be like a hustle type story in New York with Midworld characters and yes, please, please, please. But Callahan takes the pilgrims back to his group of people. And they introduce each other, and they are having kind of like a sit-down like they did in the Wastelands, where everyone's just kind of really getting to know each other. And that's when Susannah, Eddie, and Jake find out that Callahan is from their world. And Callahan has traveled a lot. And I haven't actually read this book, but I believe Callahan is the priest from Salem's Lot, which means that Stephen King is doing his best to make the Dark Tower a part of every book he's ever written. Hey look, my book moved! But as they are talking, the robot Andy, non-paranoid android that I was telling you about, he shows up. He is supposed to deliver a message to Roland. But of course, all he wants to do is tell them future tellings. It's not actually future tellings. It's that word that I can't say because those things are so freaking ridiculous. That is how our section ends. I'm starting to think that they are just going to take care of the wolves in this book and do the heist next book, and I just can't wait for the heist because, oh yes please. If you like what I'm doing, go ahead and leave me a like, subscribe, and hit the little bell thingy right next to it so that you know when I put out new videos. And if you like, leave me a comment. Leave me a comment letting me know that I'm doing great, that I'm doing horribly, that you hate me, that you love me, that you want to see more of me, that you want to burn me in an effigy. Just leave me a comment and I'll be happy. I've been Ellie the Purple Ape Doofus. This has been Buddy Reads, reminding you to watch your pajama radius. And I will see you all in the next section of Wolves of Calla by Stephen King. Toodles!